taste good. Nah, but it'll get you better. You need this medicine. It ain't gonna always taste good, but this is what you need. Men and women, bottom line, we need to have the conversation. Your partner wants to give up control, but only if you know how to drive. This is about being the best you could ever be, whoever you are. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, LGBTQ, space alien. I'll save anybody. I don't care. I'll teach a hedgehog how to have a threesome.
What do you mean by that?
Look, you don't have to listen to me, but you're wrong. Listen, I know I'm great. And I know you're thinking,
I don't have my banners either.
I can be like you. But you could be me, you know why? Because you know who I was? Before I was me, I was you.
Man score 202. Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't.
Yo. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? The Sexual Revolution is being podcasted. I'm excited. It's good to be back, y'all. Shit. Technical difficulties. Man, I'm pissed. It is what it is. I gotta get out before we get it. I gotta get the number up, and oh my god. Here we go. Let's get it going. What's up, everybody? Let me shout out to anybody who's in the Eric Perez. Yo, big shouts to what is up? Big shouts to Xavier. Xavier's always on it. Thanks for the $5, Xavier. I appreciate you. Shit. So much going on. We were doing Harry was doing a live stream and all my settings are all fucked up. So I'm trying to get this straight. Oh boy. I had to get back on, man. I haven't been back streaming. I haven't been streaming on Sunday, and I needed to get back and do it. So having a little rough time right now. So if y'all can bear with me, I'd appreciate it. Let's get the telephone number up. We'll see. How's everybody doing, man? Everybody in the chat, big shouts to anybody in that. 4922. There's the number. Oh, man. My branding is fucked up. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, everything's all fucked up now. I'm trying to get that figured out. Appreciate y'all coming in, man. Coming in slow. We got a lot to cover. Yes, we do. Whole lot to cover. A lot. And trying to get that together is always good. Okay, there's the number. The number's up. Check the number. Let me see if we can get the Cash App up. This is really not my day. A little pissed off, but whatever. Yeah. We'll figure this out. Video clips. Anywho. Big shouts to everybody. Telephone numbers up 929 269 4922. If anybody's there, just call in. Just let me make sure the phones are working good. Working on getting all the other nonsense up and whatnot. Let me see the Cash App. Oh man, Cash. Yeah, that's cool. But you know what? We'll just go with what we got. What else can we do? Make some content, help some people. Telephone lines are up 929-269. Y'all know live consultations. Y'all know what to do. That's what's up. Bam. Let's see who it is.
To accept, press 1.
Hey, yo, what's your name? Where you calling from, family?
Hey, what's up, John? I was just calling to see for the phones to work.
Yeah, well, phone's working. Thanks for calling, bro. I appreciate you.
Yep.
What's going on? Anything going on with you?
No, everything's good, man. Everything's good. Like I was saying, the work is excellent, and it always pushes us to the next level. You know?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is
Yep.
difficult. It's funny. I've been, it's good to see. I had one of my old school, consultations to call me up, and he it's interesting because he reverted back to the old shit. So it's also interesting to me how we can end up in a situation where we don't, when we don't practice this stuff, we fall victim to the same old stuff. It's just a shame.
Yeah. It's you're right. It's like a continuous discipline, like forever, pretty much until the day we die. You know?
Yeah. And what's also interesting is how we how should I put it? We get into a situation where we know what to do and then we just stop doing it and we end up back in a funky place again, and that makes it difficult to kind of deal with, because the question is, okay, how do we get back to where we need to be? And it's difficult. The bottom line is it's difficult to do that. It's really difficult.
Yeah,
So
100%.
Yeah,
I think. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, bro.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say it's the accountability, because I can definitely I resonate with that when it gets easier, just going on cruise control. But then there's always there's layers to it, and it never stops.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think there's a problem when you go on cruise control. I think what happens you stop when you stop practicing the principles. And it happens to all of us, like all of us, we get a little, I could just rock out, and then we end up in a situation where it's like it becomes a thing, like now we're, now, and then we end up being in a situation where, it's because we end up in a situation where we're making these mistakes and then we lose confidence, and then that becomes a whole thing in itself, so it's really, really interesting. One of the things that I'm kind of going through myself is just to be, how should I put it? Just to be on point, to stay vigilant myself. And so if I have that problem, I know that everybody else, probably has that problem as well, So,
oh yeah.
Thanks for, I appreciate you calling in. I really appreciate, I have to apologize because I haven't been in the greatest places to go live, and I've been running, and, we had done a bunch of stuff. We did, we filmed Godfrey's special, and then I was traveling. So I really wanted to get on here today, for a little while, if nothing else, to just get back on the grind. So,
No, 100%. I appreciate you being there.
man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you calling in, bro. Thank you, man.
All right, family.
All
Take
right.
care.
I'll let you soon.
Yeah.
The Cash App is up. At least the what it is. I don't have my QR code. Y'all know what it is. You get a consultation. It's DanteNero.com. Click on consult. I'll fix that as well. I'm missing all my branding and everything. So it is what it is. Good times. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was that I personally, something that I've been personally going through. And it's interesting because I think when you're younger, you have more tolerance for this. And as you get older, you lose your ability to it's almost like you lose your ability to you lose your ability to tolerate the nonsense. That's what I mean. And what happens over and over again is we get in a situation where we start putting up with people around us that aren't really positive for us moving forward. They don't contribute to the betterment of our life, and we put up with it because why? Because we feel like, hey, it's almost as if we're it's almost like we're tolerating them because we're giving them another chance. And we're giving them another chance. I don't know if y'all saw the live that we did on Tuesday, and I was talking to Harry, and Harry was saying about how, he likes to give 4 chances. This was the episode that we had the Punisher from the Diddy trial. First of all, the thing about that that I think is most interesting is that here's a guy who's being paid $2,000 a shot to have sex with one of the most beautiful women, or at least a very beautiful woman. And he's being paid for this, and he still has insecurities, just like everybody else. It's like you think it's about the money, you think it's about the muscles, you think it's about the sex drive. And so here's a guy who has everything that you would think makes it all okay. It's not okay, He's having problems just like everybody else, and that's why that's what makes this show really important. The fact that that no matter who you are, we all need some kind of guidance every once in a while. I just think that's an awesome thing to be able to do, is just to know that we'll and I'll be here for you. Let me type this in real quick. .com. Just want to put in the I need to just leave this and move on and talk to the people, but everybody's still coming in, so there's that. Yeah. Okay. See if we get. Consults. Okay, let's see if that comes up. Create. Yeah, one-on-one consults. Go to DanteNero.com. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just stuff that I've done before, but me and Harry had a little mix up. Yeah. But what I'm finding is that there are people in my life that have been in my life for periods of time where really have gotten to the point where, because I'm hyper aware of whether or not somebody is, how should I put it, whether somebody is useful in my life, or not even that they're not useful, but they're not, what you start to see the people who are maybe, how should I put it? They're not, they don't cost me anything. That having them in my life doesn't cost them anything. And I think that it's difficult to recognize that, because there's a certain level of loyalty that we have to friends and family, and we continuously let them, kind of take advantage of our situation. And all of these things, especially when you can have problems in your relationships, problems in your own personal relationships, your family relationships, that compounds the fact that you're dealing with male-female relationships, which are living, breathing things that kind of move and shake, and they're changing. And our ability to adjust is really important. So there's that. Big shouts to Jerk Chicken. Sent me something. Let me see what's on the Cash App. Yo, big shout to Xavier Karina. Thank you for the $5. And Jerk Chicken guy sent me $10 on the Cash App. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. It's been a little crazy. And I appreciate you. Big shout to Eric Peranda, Penaranda, Eric Penaranda, Megan Milden, Xavier, of course, Colex. Shout out to Hardly Surprised. Darren Samuel shouts, the real Xavier. Big shout to Carlos Ortiz, Mark Antomate. I hope that's right. And Derek Pullum, Springton Hamster, Angela, what's up, baby? How you doing? Kareem Christopher, everybody in the building. Big shouts to Brian Lorenzo. Thank you for the $5 in the Cash App. You the best, my G. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you with all the support. And why is the title Laugh My Why? What is the title? I listen. I gotta excuse me. Things are a little crazy. What up, Walter? Shouts to Mark. Yeah, everything. I thought that everything was in place, and it wasn't. Big shouts to Jerk Chicken again. Thank you for 20 on the Cash App. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Two Cash Apps in less than 5 minutes. That might be a first. Thank you, bro. But getting back to what I'm talking about, it's it says congressional. Okay. Yeah, I fucked up today. Don't worry about it. It was something that we did before. That's why everything is all a mess right now. Harry was doing something on his own, and it came through. Let me see something. I've got some stuff here in the chat. This is from Mark. Family, I was gonna say type the number in the chat and pin it. Gotta work smarter, not harder. But glad you got it up. Yeah, it was a little crazy right now. It's been a little crazy this morning because I wanted to get started at 8, and I've been lacking. Dante, I met you at a show in Atlantic City during the COVID. Claridge, you invited me up on stage to talk on the pod. Oh yeah, I do remember that. Well, good, big shouts, man. Good to hear you back with us. Shouts to my girl Angie. What's popping, baby? Hold on, let's see this. Real Xavier, yeah, some friends and grandfather, but I see that it's not the right way to go about it. Ace is paramount, absolutely. Let's see what this one is. spending hamster. Let me get yours up. I've been in a few relationships, married once, and man, I know I'll gain the grace to allow someone new in it. But at this time, I just need my time to build up. I'm glad you said that because I would like first Sprint and Hamster. If you're not doing nothing, call in because I'd like to talk to you directly and let you know what's going on. But if you don't call in, I'm gonna talk about my opinion on that. Where we go, I need time to build up. Build up what? What are we talking about? I mean, have you had was it bad situations that you can't find yourself to be in a relationship? Are you trying to get over somebody? I mean, what is going on? Because the bottom line with any of this is this. What does that mean? I need time to build up. Does that mean, because this idea that we have, well, let me just, like be introverted and start to, find out who I am and all of that is crap, dog. The bottom line is the only thing that's going to get you into another relationship is getting out there and in the 5 bricks and meeting people, even if you're not doing it with the intent, even if you don't want a relationship, which I don't believe that, because the bottom line, if you meet a bad motor scooter and she's everything that you want, especially everything that you want in the time that you are where you are right now. What I mean is you may be a little sensitive because you've gone through some stuff or maybe you got your heart broke. Don't get me wrong, man. I mean, that happens to everybody. I'm not somebody that professes this idea is that you're supposed to be ice cold and nothing matters, because that's just unrealistic to think that. But what I would say is this is especially if you're not really trying to get with anybody, if you're trying to just kind of discover yourself. What better way to discover yourself is in terms of the conversations that you have with people, especially if you're not trying to get into nothing. This is the perfect time to lay the bricks. One of the things about laying the 5 bricks, why laying the 5 bricks is important, and the repetition is important, and the fact that you do it continuously and you make it an intricate part of your the way you socialize, is because you don't ever want to seem thirsty. And how do we seem thirsty? How do we get to the point where we are perceived as thirsty in a particular situation? We are perceived as thirsty in a situation whenever we're in a dynamic where we want something. We're not speaking to the opposite sex or the same sex in the context of transactional. We're not just talking to them to get to know them, to see if they're worthy of our time, of our energy. We are going, oh, this person is attractive, I want her. And so the fact that you're saying you're not ready, this is the best time. I mean, I don't really believe that. I believe, honestly, that's usually a cop-out for the fact that your feelings are hurt and you don't want to get out there. And you don't want to deal with the rejection. And you don't want to deal with you don't want to deal with the rejection and the negativity that you perceive is going to happen. One of the things that anybody, and I would ask anybody in the chat if they agree, anybody that's actually done the laid the 5 bricks, no matter how bad and how difficult you think it's never as bad or difficult as you thought it was. Never. Your wildest dreams of what's going to happen just does not happen. I mean, at the very least, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say there are not isolated situations where people jump out the window, but more likely than not, if you're laying the 5 bricks in the way that I'm telling you to lay the 5 bricks, what the worst case scenario is that somebody doesn't respond back. And if you're doing the first stage of laying the 5 bricks, you are forbidden to get a response. The first step, you're not even supposed to be trying to get the number. It's just you learning to interact for the sake of interaction. And that is the thing that whenever I hear people go, in this time of the Me Too and the this and the, like things are different and guys are afraid to talk to women. I'm going to tell you something. I've never ever had a situation where somebody who I was consulting with has that problem where you think that and they don't have that problem of I don't want to end up in trouble, or I don't want to, because the first thing you're doing is there's a level, it's based on a level of honesty. And because it's based on a level of honesty, you already know that the response from somebody is it's just not going to be negative. And if it is, they're the one with the problem. I mean, if you're complimenting somebody and it's non-sexual and it's not with an intention of transaction, and you're just saying something that is just true, right? Sure, there might be a situation where a woman might not respond to you, but overall, you're gonna get, if you get no response, you're gonna get anywhere from a great response to no response. But nobody's gonna want to fight you or get offended or whatever. Not when they can, just because it's not like you're being persistent. It's not like you're overstepping your boundaries. You're just paying a compliment. Big shout to Jared Gray. Thank you for the $5 on the Cash App. I appreciate you, brother. It's good to be back, man. I just feel like we're in a situation. Let me put this number up again. Telephone number's up. But this idea of the fact that we've gone through a breakup now, I need to get into myself. I need to see where my head, it's all bullshit. It's all a way of us. It's really just a way of us not dealing with the fears that we have overall. And once we start to overcome those fears and we realize we can isolate and really figure out what's really going on in our head, the nonsense that we tell ourselves is it doesn't really matter. Nobody, you waiting to get out there and to just talk to people, because understand something. You know what it reminds me of? It's funny, like when I was in the gym heavy, right? And let me see who this is. Yo, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Angela. How you doing, Dante?
Hey, Angie, baby, how are you?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
You don't sound good. What's going on?
I don't.
No, you sound like something's on your mind.
Well, you know me. You know.
Yeah, but what's going on now? How come it's not good if I can sense it on the phone?
So it's not anything bad, but I just want to touch on what you said about the approach.
Okay.
I've been with you since 2010.
Yeah.
You know me, the trainer.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what that is about, but it's definitely a thing. I'll give you a perfect example. I drove up yesterday to the laundromat. There was a cat in the laundromat. He has a nice truck. I have a nice car. He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. I'm out of my SUV. He's by his BMW truck, just waiting for his laundry. He sees me. He goes, "How you doing?" I go, "I'm fine, and yourself?" Gave him a smile, walked in.
Right.
I'm doing my laundry. He's looking. Then I almost put money in his machine by accident.
Right.
So I said, I said, I almost took money on your books, right? And he laughed.
Right.
He said, did you? I said, no, but I almost did. And he laughed. But I was in and out. But when I was there, he made small talk, but he just stared at me the whole time.
Just
we
never
finished our laundry. He finished first.
Never took the initiative to ask for a number.
Took the initiative. He finished first. He sat in his truck. I could see him watching me through the window. Now there was another gentleman in there. He was a little older than me, Hispanic gentleman, and he was making small talk with me, but he wasn't like hitting on me, but he was definitely engaging.
Right.
Like he just made conversation. I don't know if he was trying to. I'm usually good at gauging if someone's interested. I didn't get the impression that the Hispanic gentleman was interested, but he was definitely friendly.
Right.
And he found me interesting enough to strike up a conversation. My thing is, this cat was literally like the whole time. He went in his truck before he pulled off to see if I was going to come out and everything. He didn't even say, what's your name? Now, I'm from Harlem. I just relocated like 9 months ago to New Jersey.
Right.
So I'm out here in New Jersey. The first thing a person will find out is that I'm new to these parts.
Right.
That icebreaker. I was like, let me show you around. I can't answer it. I can't call it. I really can't.
When you say you can't call it, what do you mean? What's the problem?
I don't understand why they don't engage. I have some just pessimistic people that say, they're intimidated. I don't believe that. Men are strong. They're not intimidated by women.
Yeah, yes, they are, though. I mean, you've been listening to me for since 2010, right?
Yes.
Did you see when we went live with the Punisher?
Bits and pieces. Okay,
so let me tell you. So Punisher, the guy who was sleeping with Cassie, right, was paid $2,000. Now this is not allegedly. This all came out in the case, right?
Right.
She was paid he was paid to sleep with Cassie, right? $2 grand a pop. This one for 2.5 years, right? Okay. And it was really because he's actually a good friend of mine.
I remember because I knew he was a good friend of yours from when your other dancer friends was on Black Phillip.
Right.
Dave Phillip. Yeah. So yeah, I know you guys go back.
Right. So, but it's interesting. It was really important for me to get him up on the show because why? Because it's I'm going in my mind. I'm like, everybody who's listening and anybody who I've consulted with, and even guys who are having a great run now or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. They all have that same fear. It's like there's always, I don't have enough money. I don't have a nice enough car. My apartment is this. And one of the things that happens is this is all fear that men have in their own head. They're creating this thing in their own head why they're not good enough, and they're not really asking. This is things that the woman hasn't even said. Not, you know what I'm saying? Now, there's always a possibility that you may not, you and the person that you may be dealing with or not dealing with might be, y'all might be, incompatible. But that's right. But that goes on both ends. The point is, you could end up being with a girl, and she could be beautiful, and you go, I can't deal with this chick But what happens is, because of scarcity, right? Because guys haven't learned the lessons that we teach here all the time, and even when they learn them, a lot of times they don't practice them nearly enough to be proficient at it, and so. There's a situation where because of this, they are afraid. And I know that's hard for you. I mean, I know that your game, you give them a smile and you invite, but sometimes it's just not enough. These guys are paralyzed, even when you're giving them the signal, hey, I'm interested.
Right.
they're still afraid. Well, what if I say this, and what if I say that, and what if she doesn't? Because this is a fear. This is like, it's funny because I was just talking about the comment from Sprinting Hamster. He's like, I'm just, I was married and I had a girl, and but I'm trying to get into myself. All of that is bullshit. That
It is.
it's fear. Because
but I don't. But okay, I know you say it's fear. I'll give you another example. I was getting to know someone. He felt that I was the perfect fit for him. I said, well, there's a lot of keys that fit, but only one is going to turn the lock. I wasn't interested in him the way he was interested in me.
Right.
He was like, don't block your blessings. And he was being like kind of pushy about it. But finally, we got it on the whole platonic thing. Then there was another gentleman that I met. That was
so
a
let me
little
ask you
older.
something. What was the problem with him? I'm curious.
I found him to be a little too conservative for me.
Conservative in what way?
His thought process, he had a kind of old-fashioned, dated way of thinking.
Okay. Like what do you mean? Like women are supposed to be home and pregnant, or what? Like what?
No, he just was very closed-minded in terms of like, he had a very confined lifestyle. Like he go to work, he plays basketball, but he said that, he didn't do a lot of things. He wasn't an outgoing person. And I am.
And you had already, was he close to doing other things, or you just was like, oh, this is just not for me?
Okay. I would have to give you an example. I'll give you an example. I'm 5'5". I'm a trainer. I'm in good shape, and I'm considered, whatever. Whatever. I guess I'm considered attractive. I'm not a person that gets
talk
all
your
that.
shit, Angie. Stop.
His thing was, because I'm a trainer, I'll give you a perfect example. I was like, he's like, what are you doing tomorrow? I was like, I'm going to get my hair braided. Now my hair is long, but I get it braided because of the training. Oh, no, we're not doing that. What do you mean we're not doing that? He was very territorial. He was
crazy.
Very controlling.
And that's not even your man. And he's like, oh, you're not getting your hair braided.
I would say something, we'd be talking about something, and if he had a different view, don't shush me. Like, he was just overbearing.
Yeah, I get
but
you.
we weren't a good fit.
What you're saying in essence, he's an asshole. He was an asshole.
I don't want to say that, bro.
Yeah, but that's what it is. That's what it is, though.
He moved like an ass. Well, he said, I know I can be an asshole sometimes.
Yeah,
literally,
well, then,
that's what
you know what? Yeah, I'm going to tell you what's crazy about that. I can't tell you how many times that I have heard somebody say that, right? Well, sometimes I can be an asshole. And in my mind is, like, when I've consulted with guys and they tell me that, and I go, then stop being an asshole. Like,
right.
There's no situation where you being this dickhead, right? You being aware that you're a dickhead, right? Is a good thing for you. And in essence, what you're saying is, I'm aware that people find me offensive, abrasive, and I'm just not going to change it.
And he's very bad. We go back. We're in the same age generation.
Yeah.
He's a Weisenheimer. You feel me?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I know I could be an asshole because he's a wise ass.
Yeah, but whenever somebody says that, I would be interested to hear because you said y'all are platonic now, right?
We're friends. Yeah, we're friends. We keep up sporadically. We don't keep up.
I would love to hear you ask him, well, if you know that you're an asshole, why are you acting that way?
That's a great question. The next time I speak to him, that is the question that I'd be. You know what? I'm not even going to. I don't care that much. I'll be honest with you. We are fit or we not. I'm not even going to get into all that.
I get you, but what I'm saying is these things. So, Angie, I guess what I'm saying is I know that you're not interested in him, right?
Right.
But every interaction that you have with somebody gives you an opportunity to learn something about people, right? So
Yeah.
when you ask somebody who says that they're an asshole, right? And you go,
hmm
well, I'm curious, and I've said this like in consultations.
You have.
I've said if you say you're an asshole, I might have actually done it on the live sometimes where I go, well, if
You have. You
yourself
have. You
okay,
definitely have.
if you're self-admittedly an asshole, right? Why would you continue to be that way? I mean, do you think that you being an asshole is a good thing? It opens your
What has it gotten you? What has
yeah,
it gotten you?
yeah. Does it
Clearly,
open
has
your
it?
possibilities
Yeah.
of meeting the person that you want? You think that you being unkind and inconsiderate and unempathetic and self-centered, you're like, how do you think that works out for you? And
Yeah.
9 times out of
Mhm.
time, well, it's just the way. Well, then be different
Be different. Yeah.
because
I guess I need to tap into that when you when I have those opportunities. I need to do that. I am of this. Time is our biggest commodity. I don't feel like wasting it, so I don't necessarily ask that question. But that's a good point.
But
I
because
should
here's
ask that.
my thing. There's something called behavioral psychology, which is the study of the way human beings behave, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
as much as everybody thinks they're grossly different, everybody thinks they're super special and they and they got it all figured out or whatever the fuck it is, right?
Right.
They don't. They don't. And so a lot of time, most people are exactly the same. People who are untrustworthy are untrustworthy. If you think about people in your life that are still in your life that you don't trust, right? They've changed. They've changed. Like I'm 58, and the people who I don't trust are still people who I don't trust now that I trust when I was in my 20s.
Right, because they're still moving untrustworthy.
Right. People who I know that are lazy and don't step up, they are also people that are still lazy right now. Even at old age, they were lazy. At 20, they were lazy. It's always that situation. Right. People that are selfish are still selfish. People that are generous are still generous. One of the things that I was saying about Punisher is he was always a good dude, and now he's, I think, 52 now, and he's still a good dude, So, like, these things don't change. I had a friend of mine who was an old stripper friend of mine, just never lifted a finger to help anybody, and so now his life is in shambles. And he's like, yo, you need to take me on the road with you. I could be your security. And I was like, no. I go, first of all, you can't beat me. That's the first thing. Second of all, I have to hire you as security when you can't even beat me. But the other thing is, you've done nothing in your life to move it forward and to escalate it at any point in time. And now you're a loser, right? His girl left him because he just him having good dick wasn't enough. She leaves him, right? And he's ass out again because he was living off this woman. And then I'm supposed to put him on. And I was like, I absolutely, I asked him, why would I do that? He's like, because we're friends. And I go, no, we're not. We're not friends. Our friendship has always been predicated on what I do for you. You have never done anything for me.
What you're providing.
And I'm not mad at you because of that, because I recognize that a very long time ago. You've never done anything for me, and that's okay. I don't expect it, and that's fine. But trust me, I'm not doing you. I'm not going. If I do give somebody an opportunity, it won't be you. And he's like, oh man, you won't even go. You supposed to help your boy. Look, I go, yeah, I'm not. You're not my boy.
It's a manipulation, yeah.
But it's not even a manipulation. It's just this idea of this, like, common sense ain't common. You know what I mean? People think that common sense. It's like that knucklehead, like Lord Jamal, when he talks about the flat earth, and he's like, it's common sense. That anytime you hear somebody say common sense, that's the dumbest thing in the world. I mean, I know it, and so you're supposed to know it. which, or I think it's so. So it's just there's an absurdness to that statement that if common sense was common, everybody would know.
Everybody would have it. That's right.
So
Everybody would
it's
know.
not, and you're experiencing it. But my point is, you have guys who, they're afraid. They're afraid of the rejection they create. This is something that I said some time ago, that fear exists between the time the time that there's an opportunity presented to you, right? And how
Right.
long you take to access it. So for instance, he said he got an upper nerve to say something to you, right?
Right.
You spoke back, right? If he had said, "Oh my God, you're a beautiful woman, God, is there any way we could exchange numbers? I'd love to take you." It'd have been over with, right?
Right.
But here's the point, and whether or not y'all hit it off or y'all meshed or but he would have at least gotten an opportunity to
Right.
you know what I'm saying, to see where it goes. But what
Right.
happens now? He's in the thing. Now he's staring at you. Now it's this, and so what happens is, this is what I mean by fear exists between the time that the opportunity presents itself and it increases. The fear increases with the amount of time it takes you to access that opportunity. So the longer he waits, the worse the fear becomes, until
Okay.
the
Okay.
fear is so prominent and so overwhelming that you're paralyzed.
It's sort of like what you said about when you were younger in the dance.
Exactly.
The asking the girl to dance.
Exactly. But you have to understand how, and what's interesting about that, I don't know if there's anybody that doesn't, I've never met a human being that doesn't work in that way. I know that was my particular experience, but it's
Right.
also a situation where I have learned that I don't know like there's never a truer statement ever meant. Like if there's something that you want to do and you're presented with the opportunity and you don't access the opportunity, the clock start the stopwatch.
Yeah.
And
The longer it takes,
the
the
fear
more
goes
anxiety
from
builds.
green to orange to yellow to DEFCON 4. And then now, even though you said, "Oh, I almost put money in your thing," and he's so paralyzed about he can't even access his feelings, much less accents what he doesn't think he's worthy, and then all the 100 different ways of how he's going to get rejected, and so he doesn't do anything. And what's crazy is it's not like y'all had talked. I mean, you had given him the green light. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to suck your dick, but we can see
Right.
it. We can talk about it. Like.
Word.
And
You don't know what I might say.
Right, we might could do that, but I just I need to. Here's the opportunity, and this is
Yeah.
the problem when you're not laying the 5 bricks, when you're not accustomed to just being social, you
Right.
just can't move that way. You can't.
There's a level of social awkwardness. It's funny, all of this you're saying is so true, because when I said what I said, and he was so taken back, he was like, "You did it," My guy friends have told me, they said, you come off friendly,
Yeah.
but men can be very confident
Yeah.
too. And I said, but why would that be off-putting?
Well, it's off-putting because
It's
they're
off-putting.
not. It's off-putting because they're not. And this really has nothing to do with you as much as it has to do with them not not having the self-esteem to think that what they have to offer somebody is they're worthy of happiness. And that's the problem. And what's crazy is it happens to older guys even after they've, because now they're old, so they figure they're not worthy. And the younger guys, when they're younger and they haven't achieved something, and everybody in between. So it's just the human nature of men who, and then we codify this fear with
Dante, this is wearing me out. There was a man that approached me. He was in a Denali, 62 years old, retired, very attractive man. He said, he stopped me, and I was walking to the store because I'm new out here,
Yeah.
and he stopped me and he said, excuse me, has anyone ever told you look like Angel Reese? Now, I didn't know who exactly that was. I just knew it was a female basketball player. So I didn't know what she looked like. So I was like, no. I said, isn't she a basketball player? So he said, yes. We got to talking. We exchanged numbers. He thought that I was in my 40s. When he found out I was 56, he was like, you do not look 56. And I was like, well, I take care of myself. I'm a trainer.
Right.
But it was like, as soon as he found out I was older, it was like he was different. It was like he just, I don't know, he just lost interest or what. But he was very interested when he thought I was like 42. He was shocked when he found out how old I was.
Yeah, well, now, I mean, I can't say.
And he's 62.
Now, I can't say what the problem is, right? But I could speculate. Number one, sometimes guys will be in a situation where they feel that the woman is too experienced. Like I have a dude, a famous dude that I know that he don't fuck with nothing but young girls because he's afraid that if he fucks with a woman who has any experience, that he's not going to be able to keep up, right? Because he
keep up or get. What do you mean keep up? Like get over on them?
He just won't like. Like he thinks he will be intellectually challenged to a place where he's not comfortable.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that could be it, or it could be he just likes that young stuff. And he don't want, you know what I'm saying? It could be any number of things. But I think the bottom line with any of it is that what's overall happening is there's a fear. About 99% of the time there's a fear. There's a fear of not being rejected, and that's where it comes from, And I think that you can't you can't put the pussy on the plate for him. You know what I mean?
I certainly can't.
Right, and you got it.
All I owe them though is the opportunity to be open to engagement.
Exactly,
and I do that. That's all I owe them.
Exactly, but you're gonna. But this is one thing. As you're a woman of a certain age, you see this on all levels at all ages.
Like, okay, I do, but there's a 37-year-old guy that's after me that acts more mature than some of the men older.
So let him knock the dust off it and stop playing around.
I ain't got dust. Look, not a wrinkle or a tear.
You know what I mean.
Not a wrinkle or a tear.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I'm not averse to that. I know what you mean because I can. I'm a chameleon. I can move in different places and spaces. I love my old school stuff, but I'm gonna
tell you something. Here's the crazy thing. Like, you know who Donald Glover was, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Donald Glover's got a white wife, right? And so a lot of sisters are giving him the business because he got a white wife. But Donald Glover's a weird guy, right? When he wasn't famous, no black girls wanted to talk to him. So they looked at him.
Yeah, they looked at him as an odd stuff.
He was a weirdo. And then when he got famous, they were like, "Oh, he got away." You understand what I'm saying? It's like all of this perception that's going on. I can't tell you how many times I get calls. Yo, I spoke to this girl. I asked her for the number. She gave me the number. Yo, how do I ask her out? And I'm like, ask her out. Just call her up and, yo, I want to take you somewhere. I want to get to know you. Right. Just say it just like that. Is that how you mean it? Yes, then just say it. And but the thing is, you're strategizing because you don't think you're worthy. See, I feel like me offering my time and my energy is to your benefit. I feel like I'm a dope catch. You're gonna talk about stuff you never talked about. You're gonna go places you never go. You're gonna learn things you never learned. Like being with me is a fucking party, and I know that to be the case. And
Right.
I've had women that have said that, and women that I've dated years ago who still swing back later on, like, oh, after they've been in the wilderness with the wolves, and they go, man, this you were the best thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
If
'Cause
you
you
work,
provide experience. You don't just provide company and comfort and companionship. You've provided experiences
but
to
I'm
them as well.
also not for everybody. And if somebody doesn't see me as a part of that, that's your business.
Yeah, it's
Moving right
definitely
on.
okay.
It doesn't diminish me and I think what happens is guys they're walking into this afraid, and they're afraid that they're going to get rejected, and because they're afraid they're going to get rejected, it becomes a problem. And it's just something you gotta go with who likes you. You gotta like who likes you. So if you got a 37-year-old dude,
I was just curious because I see that that's a common theme.
I have guys. I just got a call from a kid that I have been consulting with for 17 years. When I met him, he was a virgin. Like his body count is about 17 now, right? And he's like 20-something years old. But the reality is, he called me up the other day with the same old bullshit, consulted me that he was talking about when he was 17. Yo, I'm just trying to get into myself and trying to work my shit out, just, discover who and I'm like, you're full of shit, dude. You're just, you're trying to, you're trying to say something that is, you're making excuses because you're afraid again. And the bottom line is, I get that you're afraid, but I also don't care. Because you got to.
So how do I navigate around this quote unquote fear?
I tell you what you can do. You can put the pussy on a platter. If you think this guy's worthy, you just.
But I don't even know. But what if I don't know if I like? See, my thing. I listen to how you broke it down. You said this a million times. I don't even know if I. You like me, but I don't know if I like you. Don't know if you. I like you. You don't know if you like me, or you like me. I don't know if I like you.
Right. But you saw this. You thought the guy was good looking, right? You thought he was this. You could tell that he was interested. You just go. Listen, give me a number because you seem to be stalling, and I don't have time for this.
It's funny that now, Dante. Damn it! This is why we've been friends for over a decade. Because I said to myself, Angela, you should have just said, "Listen, what's your name? You want to exchange numbers?" Like I said that.
Yeah.
I said he's sitting out there. I need to just go step to him.
Yeah. Because if you do that, but understand this, that's
she ordering too, because they'll be like, "Oh, she's so forward."
Yeah, but look, they're so
it's like
forward.
You can't win.
But here's the thing: you might still be in a situation where you don't like this motherfucker in the end, and you might have to put him on ice anyway. So why not? I mean, it's an open opportunity, and until my fans start liking and sharing and telling people that the shit that this cocaine that I'm giving y'all is the shit for, it's crazy. It's like, with Kevin Samuels, 14,000 people on his live, and it was all toxic and making men and women. And I'm giving you the real dope, and we got a couple hundred people on the live.
Yeah.
It's because people want the trash.
They don't want the right. They want the they want the reality TV, the cat fights, to this, to that. Yeah, it's
exactly.
Like it's a shame, but we'll get further and we'll have more connection.
And then complain about here's the thing: if you're looking online, your presumption is that men and women are at war, but people are fucking. People are fucking and they're making kids, and the population is not going down any. It's nothing is changing. So the fact that this like the red pill guys is like, oh, we this and women this, and it's like y'all just goofy. Because if you got your dick sucked, you wouldn't be saying that. You just, all of that nonsense is nonsense because you're not getting your dick sucked. Because you can't find the woman that you want, or the woman that you want doesn't find you desirable. And
Right.
and all of that is a skill set.
Well,
You know.
I'll keep listening, and I hope they do as well.
But next time,
I
baby,
think-
just, if it's something that if he's you're attracted to him, just push up. Yo, look, listen, I tried to, and say it, because it'll be something y'all will laugh at. I tried to bait the trap, but I don't know, you're not moving quick enough. Give me your number. Let's hook up. You can see.
Word, right? And I am not a shy person. Like, I don't have any problem.
Trust me,
doing
Angie,
that.
I know. But the point is,
You know, girl.
you can't.
So
But if
my
you
best
wait,
friend called me, my best friend called me Dantea. Yo, she called me Dantea because she know. I know what it is.
Here's the thing. I would rather know what it is, so I'm not wasting my time, than not know what it is and be sitting around wondering. Because I did that. I did that in elementary school. What if this and what if that? What if?
Yeah.
Why not ask? Why not ask? So it is what it
Maybe I'll
is.
see him again. Look, maybe I'll see him again when he washes clothes next.
And you know what? And if not, it don't matter. Next time you got something that you like, you don't
That's
deprive
true.
yourself of it. Because if you
I
wait
won't.
for them to get their weight up, you may be waiting forever. Okay?
I see. Thank you, brother. I appreciate
All right, love you much, all right?
Thank you, B. Take care.
Bye-bye. Yeah, you gotta, this is the thing, is fear is such a paralyzing thing. Let Carlos Sati say, hey, Dante, can you elaborate more about allowing people to occupy, waste your time, and how this ties into being empathetic? So I guess what you're saying is this, Carlos. If being empathetic, right? When people, you have to understand, you have to put your happiness first. If you don't, nobody else will. So if you're not defining your state of happiness and what you like, you're always going to be in a situation where somebody is taking advantage. And when you recognize that somebody is taking advantage and whatever, you have to, first thing I do is I call it. Hey, look, you did this, da, 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 da. Now, once I've said that, if they're unaware of it, it gives them an opportunity to rebuttal or say, I'm sorry, or I didn't realize that, or something. And then once they say, I'm sorry, or if they don't say, I'm sorry, and they just are oblivious to it, you know that this person sometimes they don't have the emotional capacity to recognize that they're just people who take from people all the time. And so if you're a giving person, you can't hang out with them. You can't hang out with them because it's a situation where it's just not going to change. Secondly, so empathy itself is yes, I get it that you're supposed to be empathetic to people, but not when people don't mean you harm. And you can recognize that it's when you meet somebody, it's a feeling out. There's a feeling out time where and if they're like you and they think you're worthy, they're going to respect your boundaries and you're going to respect theirs. If somebody just steps over that and stomps all over that, then it's somebody who doesn't care and they're just not worth your time. So you can be authentic about what you can be authentic about what you don't like when somebody does something you don't like. And you can be empathetic to the fact that they've gone through different things. Doesn't mean that you have to get the short end of the stick and somebody gets to use you as an emotional punching bag. So those are two things separate altogether. Let me see. Let me put this, Derek, put this up. You're right. That's the sweet spot to lay the bricks. Oh yeah, got to there. Like the point is when you're laying the bricks, what he's talking about is that's the sweet spot. Know that women are mostly the same, and it's timing and what matters. Just do it for you. So we're talking about my boy who was saying, the guy who was in the comments who was saying he's trying to find himself and he went through a breakup and stuff. This is the time when you want to be laying the 5 bricks when you're when you have no intention on finding a girlfriend, because it doesn't matter if you're rejected. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work out. Your intent, the point of doing 5 a day every day, that magnitude of putting yourself out there, is to get so comfortable. It's to get so comfortable that you don't to that you're not nervous. Like, it's like anything that you do over and over again in it almost becomes like muscle memory, and you don't have that anxiety because you know deep down that you're just you just get used to it, because you don't have that fear of things falling apart. So there's that. So that's why it's not a good time. Hold on a second.
To voicemail, press 2.
Jason, what's up, bro?
What's going on, Dante? How you doing?
How you been, bro? How can I help you?
Basically, I took this one chick out July 3rd, before July. And then of the date, she wanted to stop at like this edible place, and she's like, "Can you buy me something?" I was like, "All right, whatever."
Wait, she wanted you to stop
And
at
now-
what?
Cannabis store.
A what store?
Cannabis.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, edibles. And I was like, all right, whatever. Like, it was like our first time meeting, so I was like,
This
okay,
was your first time meeting, and she's asking you to buy your stuff? Red flag.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I had a tingle in my balls, like,
Yeah.
not good. And then another thing, it was like another day. I was like, all right, let me call you in the morning. And she was like, oh, I'm busy. And that's it. And like, no response and nothing else. And then like randomly she would call me. She's like, hey, I need an Uber to go to work. I was like, oh, that sucks.
And what was your response to
And
that?
she was like, is that really your response? I was like,
What was your response?
that sucks.
And then what did she say from there?
She was pissed off, and I was like, what do you want me to do? She's like, oh, nothing. And then I met her up at work one day, and then she was asking me, she was like, I didn't have any lunch. Can you just get me some fries or something? Sure. Whatever.
Okay,
Like
why are you meeting up with her anymore?
No.
Huh?
I was like, I'm an idiot? I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. That's honest, but yeah, you shouldn't be meeting up with her. She's a bum who only calls you when she wants something.
Yeah.
So
And I just have a feeling like today I'm going to hear it too. Like I'm going to get some response, and then it's going to be like a request for something. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I would just go, block her.
Yeah.
You don't even have to block her. It would be nice. I think it's great practice for you to go. Listen, I'm just really not interested in you. I go, anytime. The only time you call me is when you need something, and I don't even like you that much.
Yeah, because like even like what, like I don't know. So it was like this. It was on a dating app thing, and then like I met her day of like matching, and then when I met her up, I was like, oh, she didn't look as great as she did, but
that's not even the point. The point, if she looked better than you ever thought she looked, well, clearly she's taking advantage.
Yeah, I'm losing attraction by the second. And I'm like,
well, you should have lost this. Clearly, this woman is taking advantage. She's anxious to whatever when she wants something, and when she doesn't want something, you can't even get in contact with her. Yeah, and you need to tell her that when she calls again. You go, so how did that turn out? She didn't
even call,
huh?
I was like, she doesn't even call. That was another red flag. I was like, oh, you're not even gonna call. You just texting me for stuff. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, then you don't even need to stop responding. You know, I mean, and the other thing is, I tell y'all dudes all the time, stop doing this text shit. Talk to them on the phone.
I asked to call, and then she was like, no, like I got rejected off that. I was like, that's weird.
You asked her to call?
Yeah, I was like, can I call you tomorrow morning?
And she said
She was
no.
like, I'll be busy. And it wasn't.
Then what you should have, you don't even have to respond to that. Just never answer the phone again.
All right.
That was
That
your
sounds
question?
Yeah.
Go, if you feel like, I mean,
deal with.
let me be honest. Let's be honest. How do you feel about this?
Fucking hate it.
Well, then why would you put up with something that you hate? What's in it for you? Do you think that all of a sudden she's gonna go, oh my God, I changed my mind. Now I can't wait to put your dick in my mouth. Do you think that's gonna happen?
No, it's not. But
that's what you're waiting for.
That's what I'm waiting for. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just not realistic. Do you understand?
Yeah. 100%.
So when somebody is not interested in you, then you gotta see the authenticity. When we talk about truth and authenticity, right? The authenticity is also that you can't, like, it's also being honest with yourself, recognizing when somebody's not interested in you. You understand? And if interested in you, then be honest with yourself and move on. Everybody's not gonna like you, but trust me, everybody's not gonna not like you either. Do you understand? It works both ways.
Yeah.
You just gotta find your person, okay?
Yeah.
But you don't continue to take first buy me something, then I need an Uber to go to work, and you go, look, it's just, I mean, I get nasty. I'm like, bitch, don't ever call me again. but I mean, but that's me. And I mean, it's also better if you just don't respond,
Yeah.
and put her in your context. When you name her in the context, put gold digging hole. And so when it rings, it's her. Or when it texts, it's her.
I mean, I remember how you used to say, like, just don't block anyone.
You don't block anybody because you don't want them to be that important. You don't want them to think that it's even important enough to block them. But don't respond. You just shouldn't respond. Okay?
Yeah, I got it.
And lay them 5 bricks. You won't be sitting around waiting for some chick who don't like you to talk, because you'll have.
Right now I'm like studying for an exam, so I'm like just crashed in the house for.
You understand? Okay, all right. Well, what you got to do, but then get back out there, because that's where
I'm out there.
That's where the confidence comes from. Okay.
Yeah. I know. I was stressed out for an exam, and I'm dealing with this at the same time. I'm being an idiot.
All right. Yeah, but you're dealing with the exam, and you're dealing with this bum ass bitch's fucking text messages. Do you understand?
Yeah. And it's like the other thing is, like, it's just like I see it and I'm like, oh, I should react, and I'm like, why am I reacting to that?
You're reacting because you don't have any options and because you're insecure.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there's another chick that I'm texting at the same time, but
And are you not on the phone with her?
I'm on the phone with her, actually.
Okay. All right. So what's the problem?
Nothing. She's fine.
Okay. All right.
I was just talking about this one. I don't know. Mentally, I've got one over the
other. Yeah, but a lot of times we want what we can't get,
Right. That's probably it.
And then when we really look at like, this is a ass chick who just calls you when she wants something. Why? Yeah. Why would you put it up? Why would you even put up with that? Okay?
Yeah. I got to stop.
All right, brother.
You're right.
Later.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Let me read this real. Dante, explain to the people the difference between short-term get females mode versus relationship mode. Guys get caught up with this. What you did to get her different in long-term game. Okay, all of this is not. I don't know who else you're talking to. I remember you said back in the day, do you just get a chance to love them? Can you talk about how the statement now relates to 2025 market? I know I threw a few things out there, but I hope you, okay. Here's the thing, Eric, you got to understand this. There's a lot of things that I've said in the past that I've honed down to the crystallized in a way that it reigns true. First of all, you have, when you say, do you just get to love them? What that means is you don't just get to ignore the way in which they're communicating with you. If somebody's communicating with you in a negative way, it's like we just had that call where the guy goes, every time the girl calls, she wants something. She's got something in mind. That is the problem. So it's not just do you get to love them. You got to date your girlfriend. You got to date your wife. But there's a certain way that you operate on with women in it, like should be a standard in which there's no difference. I mean, if somebody's just hooking up with you and they're out, then they don't get access to you. But you have to act the way that you feel that you should act all the time. There should be consistency in that. And if there's no consistency in that, there's a problem. The way you got to be righteous. You got to be authentic. You got to be credible. You got to be empathetic, even if it's just a hookup or if it's not a hookup. This is the difference. When we talk about game per se, this is why the pickup artists, dudes are having such a rough time now, because the difference is that men are being held accountable for lying. If you're misrepresenting yourself, even if you're not misrepresenting yourself, if you get a woman who feels as though she's been lied to, she can say, hey, I didn't consent to this, even if she did, which is a problem for you. And so being sincere is the thing that makes somebody feel as though they haven't been taken advantage of, if you're upfront. So there's that. How it releases it. No, I threw in a few things down to explain to people the difference between short-term and long-term females is basically big shout out to Jason saying thank you for the $20, bro. There's no difference until you decide there's a difference. Every girl is a short-term thing until you decide that she's a long-term thing. And the way that you deal with that is moment to moment. You are gaining points with her. She's gaining points with you. It becomes better because you're compatible, because she's what you want and you're what she wants. We don't label anybody as short-term or long-term and if you are labeling somebody as short-term and long, you still treat them, even if it's just a hookup, a smash and dash, you still got to be honest about that. Because if you're not honest about that, trust me, you can be taken to task for that. If you lie to get ahead and then the chick goes, yeah, I never consented to this. Now you got an SA charge because you were dishonest, or you were spitting game and wasn't telling the truth, you know? So there's really no difference. I mean, there's a lot of things that I've said, that categories and stuff. I remember we used to talk about different categories of women, bears, deers, and bunnies. And when we used to talk about Jeffrey Gurian and who ended up just being a fucking fraud. Like, that dude was paying chicks to sleep with him and fronting on him and creep. So it's just like a lot of things have come into fruition where those things just weren't, they just didn't apply. But I think when you talk about ACE, that's the foundation. You operate on that level no matter who it is. But if you're dealing with a chick and you're just trying to smash and dash and you're clear about that, then she knows what's up. She gets to make a decision about when she wants to rock. And no matter what you think, if they're interested and they want to slice, ain't nobody leaving. In fact, the fact that you're honest is the thing that makes them stay even more so than anything else. Let me put the number up. I got a whole bunch of stuff that yeah. This man, I'm sorry about the title, the congressional baseball. It was just something else we did, but whatever. But I think you gotta learn, you have to be settled and rooted in your own confidence based on the fact that you're trying to be the best version of yourself. Practicing ACE is the thing that gives you the roots and the space and the time to kind of feel comfortable about who you are. And if you do that, if you practice those things, that's where the confidence comes from. If you don't, then the confidence is not there because you haven't had the experience, you haven't learned the techniques, you haven't learned how to communicate. You understand that, and what you don't understand is, like I've said this before, anybody that practices ACE is a commodity. I don't care how shitty you feel about yourself. If you're a person who tells the truth, keeps his word, and has empathy, you cannot be a better human being. So now that doesn't mean that everybody is able to see what your value is and see how important you are and how dope you are. But those are also people that you don't want to really fuck with. Bottom line is those people you don't want to fuck with, because it's only going to end up bad for you in the end. If you, this guy just called up, he says the girl calls up, she wants this, she wants you to take her to weed out, she wants you to get an Uber. Look, she's doing you a favor. She's letting you know, hey, listen, I'm a piece of trash and I use people and I'm willing to use you at any cost. Now, you could either recognize that this is what I'm doing, or I'm gonna keep treating you that way. She's never gonna treat you any differently. So understanding that is the thing. Phone lines is up 929-269-4922. I'm gonna take one more call and then I'm gonna shut it down. Let me just check the comments see if I got everybody. I think we got everybody. We got Derek. I wanted Derek to call in, but short term, you get females mode. Yeah, there's no difference, Derek, in the female and the male. I mean, short term and long term, because somebody who you think is going to be short may not be short term if they show you something that you haven't seen before. The chick just texted me after hanging up the phone with Dante. That's funny. Yeah, just like bum ass. Just use, it's crazy. Like I watch those sometimes I'm online and I watch them do the gold digger thing where the guy will try and talk to the girl and then he gets in a Lamborghini and then she comes back. I would literally cuss somebody else if I wasn't her type, and then when she saw my car, walk back.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's your name? Where you calling from, family?
Hey, Dante, this is Lewis from Massachusetts.
This is who?
Lewis from Massachusetts.
What up, Lewis? How you doing, man? How can I help you, brother?
All right, so I've got an issue with my baby mama is the best way to put it.
Okay.
We broke up about 4 or 5 months ago now, and she basically wanted to explore her options, I guess, and I gave her what she wanted. Told her, I asked, try to see if we could work things out. She wasn't willing. I let her go and gave her what she wanted. No fight whatsoever.
Good.
I set up some boundaries afterward because she's a very manipulative person. And the boundary is essentially get together.
Right.
The boundary is essentially on Tuesdays, we contact each other to handle logistics, any updates about him, anything that, relevant to him that we don't talk about throughout the week.
Okay.
There's a couple exceptions. there's a couple exceptions to the boundary, one of them being emergencies. I told her if there's any type of emergency, Sunday to Saturday, 12 a.m. to 12 a.m., you could call me.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any important parenting decisions that she needs my help with or wants information on, she can go ahead and call me. But outside of Tuesdays, anything else. Oh, and I also I extended an olive branch because she's mentally unstable. And I told her, if you're ever in a headspace where you feel like you are having really bad thoughts, like suicidal thoughts or anything like that, and nobody else can come to your aid or anything like that, then you can.
Okay.
Just because she's the mother of my son, and I want him to have both parents.
I get you.
So moving forward, everything was fine. Like the first couple of weeks, everything. Sorry, I forgot to mention. Everything outside of Tuesday that isn't an emergency or any of the other things that I listed are supposed to just wait until Tuesday, whether it be a picture, whether it be, you get it. So the first couple of weeks were fine. I contacted her on Tuesday of last week. Well, we're in Sunday now, so about 2 weeks ago. And I let her know that I'm working overtime the next 2 weeks, and I do delivery for Amazon. So I'm working 10-hour shifts, and this week and next week's, this week 5 days, and then the week prior, because I keep forgetting we're on Sunday. The week prior, I worked 7 days, and then this week I'm working 6. And since I work early morning till nighttime, I'm not able to be there for him like I'd want to, but I let her know in advance. She said that was fine. She understands. And I picked him up that week just to make sure, because I know I'm not going to be able to see him for the next 2 at least.
Okay.
And she was cool with it at first. And what I decided to do was to slowly start pushing her away more, because I noticed that she kept creeping over the boundaries and stuff. I set her straight a couple of times. And just
creeping over the boundaries in what way?
So she'll text me outside of Tuesday with a random update that's not an emergency, not parenting decision related, and not mental crisis related.
Okay.
So she went on to say, okay, I also gave her a debit card that 10% of my paycheck every week goes on. So every week, another $70 to $120 gets added to that debit card. It's specifically for my son.
Okay.
Last week on Tuesday, she tried to use that debit card at Dave's Hot Chicken to try and, she said she was trying to buy my son food. My son's 2 years old, and she tried to spend $25. And I know he's not eating $25 worth of anything. So I told her I'm not on the card. It's strictly for him. I didn't go off. I don't hate her, so I'm not going crazy or anything like that.
Does she work?
Yes.
Okay.
Full time.
Okay.
So I just calmly explained to her, this is what the card's for. I'm not unlocking it. If there's anything else that he possibly needs, then in that case, then sure. And then she tried to move money outside of the card to her personal account, which is also against the rules that came with the card. No withdrawals, no transferring money, no adding it to Apple Pay, and every purchase needs a receipt.
Right. Okay.
So I caught her in that lie, saying that she didn't send her the screenshots. And ever since, she's been complaining about the Tuesday boundary, saying that it's not easy, it doesn't work out. What is
her reasoning behind why it doesn't work out?
Honestly, I can't tell. She's throwing a whole bunch of different excuses. Basically, she's saying I work full time and it's hard dealing with him all the time and all this other stuff. But in reality, when she's at work, he's at daycare. And then she has him for maybe 2 to 3 hours before she puts him to bed. And then before she goes to work the next day, he goes back to daycare. And on the days that he doesn't have daycare, he has family members that watch him.
Okay.
I don't have that support system when I'm watching him. It's just me. Exactly. So either way, she knows that my days off when I'm not working overtime are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those my only free days. That's all I can work with. And
okay, stop. Let's go back to the beginning. What is the first thing you have to do is you have to identify if does have a problem. There's a little acronym that I use to kind of resolve this. It's RFF. It's reasonable, fair, and firm. Is it reasonable for you to not want to talk to her all the time? Absolutely. Is it reasonable for you to pick a time where you guys have this, schedule a time where y'all talk? You also were reasonable in the way that you said, if there's an emergency, 12 to 12, call me if there's an emergency. But if it's not an emergency, what does she want?
My honest belief is that she wants me, that she's having buyer's remorse with.
So she wants you back. Well, and now, do you want that back or no?
That's a tough one. She hasn't grown at all since I left her, so no.
You don't want her back the way she was.
Right, exactly.
First of all, let me tell you something. Your assumption that she even if you're right, what she's going to have to do is she's got to open her mouth and say it. Don't take the assumption. Don't take your assessment. If she asked for this breakup, you gave it to her. Move on with your life. Are you dating anybody else?
Not currently, but I am open to it.
You should be laying 5 bricks and getting yourself out there. That's the first thing you need to do. Whether or not I decide to go with back, but what she has to understand is that you are a commodity and that she can't just make these frivolous. How old are you?
31.
And how old is she?
25.
So this is the thing. It's like she's young and frivolous and she's making decisions based on her emotions, and she has to understand that there's consequences. And the way that you can know whether there's any growth or things have changed with her is specifically if she's if you hold her accountable. And if you don't hold her accountable, then she's never going to know. So the first thing is you don't even think about going back unless she asks. You don't ask. She has to ask, I want to come back. And if she doesn't say that, then you keep moving and you go with your life. As far as the situation where when she calls or when she doesn't call, just out and out ask her, I get it. Well, what day is better for you? Did you have that conversation with her about what she actually wants?
To be real, no. I stopped replying once she started trying to guilt trip and manipulate.
Okay, well then ask her. Have a conversation. So what is it? You seem to be having a problem with the way that we said. What is it that you want?
Okay.
And make her define what it wants. Like she can't say, well, I want to be able to call you whenever I want, like we boyfriend and girlfriend. Because if that's what you're looking for, that's not what we are, and I don't want to do that. So what you can, it's fine for you to make a compromise about this and to make it needs to be reasonable, fair, and firm. Is it reasonable that you're asking to schedule things? Is it reasonable for you not to want to talk to somebody who has basically rejected you? Is it fair that maybe something that y'all set up doesn't work and you need to adjust it? Is it fair also that you want a schedule because she created this situation? And is it firm? So reasonable, fair, and firm. Are you firm about what your boundaries are? So what you ultimately have to do is if you're going to call on Wednesday or you're going to give another day or whatever the case is, you make that and then you both agree on it and then you stick with it. See, if you're having these conversations with her, then she doesn't have the ability to just change and move and stuff like this. So just like when you have a certain amount of money going in a debit card and you're telling them this is for him, this is not for you, right? You have to have those conversations. You have to be really strict about what your boundaries are, especially with somebody who's basically saying, I want out. I want to see what my options are.
All right.
And Nothing happens, and if you just deal with things step by step. Okay, she has a problem with Tuesday, but you don't even know what she wants to do. Does she want to move it to Wednesday? Does she want to move it to Thursday? What does she want? You know what I'm saying? We can all make compromises, but the point is she needs to be clear that she made this decision and that you're going to hold her accountable.
Well, she wants to be able to contact me any day if she needs to. Well, but what she defines as need to is not what I define as needs to.
Then you go, that's unacceptable. And you make it clear. You go, you wanted to end this relationship. And so you wanted to end this relationship. This is the situation that you wanted. I'm going to talk to you, nor do I want to talk to you like that. See,
Okay.
what she's trying to do ultimately is she's trying to make you her rebound guy. Women will do this. They'll break up with a guy, and then they'll expect all of the comforts of what it means to be in a relationship, minus the sex and minus the fact that they're with you or they have to come to you, and then want to go date and still use you as the punching bag or the person to lean on when you don't get to do that.
Right.
You make your
I don't
choice,
know
you
if
live with it, you know?
Right. I don't know if it's relevant, but the sex was still involved while she was dating this dude.
She's with this dude?
Yeah, and we were still having sex after that.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be sleeping with her after that.
That's why I stopped.
Are you still sleeping with her now or no?
No, I cut that off when I put the boundary in place 3 or 4 weeks ago.
All right, well, you gotta treat her like a co-parent. And be clear. And now there's nothing wrong with her saying, "Oh, this doesn't work for me. Can we adjust?" But that doesn't mean she gets to get free reign. This is the thing this is what she chose.
Right.
You know, this is what she's got to live with.
Right.
And when this guy fucks her over, right? You know, I mean, it also makes you go, "Why would I take you back?" You know. I mean, it really wasn't good when you were here, you know?
Right.
But you can make those adjustments, but you got to have that conversation, okay?
Okay.
And be clear, before you have the conversation, be clear about what your boundaries are and what you don't want.
Okay.
And then hear her out, because if she doesn't have anything specifically that she's proposing, you don't need to have a conversation with her.
Right.
You know? So that's what I would say. But you got to have the conversation, okay?
Okay. It will be done then.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Dante.
All right.
Bye.
Real quick, live consultations on DanteNero.com. One-on-one consultations. Y'all know how to get me. Go to DanteNero.com, click on consult. Don't forget to sign up for the Patreon. Man, it's the best way to support the show. It's patreon.com/manschool202. Oh, I didn't put 202. That's not good. Let me re-put that up. 202. There we go. So that's that. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and share and pass this word on so we can make this family bigger. So there's because I really feel like we're changing things, man. And I appreciate y'all 100%. Y'all the best fans that anybody could have, man. Appreciate y'all. Man, I love y'all, man. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, What Would Dante Do? Sexual Revolutions being podcasted. I love y'all, man. Peace. We out of here.